Good, bad, neutral, just a lot.
Yes, a lot is probably the best one.
There you go.
Especially with the power outage.
Yeah, I feel that.
Worst part is it came on my extra hours after work, right after work, and that's really the perfect time to start a power outage, eh?
Nice.
As long as you play some Monopoly.
And hi,
Hello,
everyone.
stream.
No, go ahead.
Hello, streamers.
Welcome back to Hyrule Warriors. We are doing the playable epilogue, the bonus stuff.
They're very slowly populating the rest of the map with a bunch of stuff.
Man, it's like looking at the constellations here.
Jericho repairs. By collecting ancient parts and gaining the aid of the people of Hyrule, you will surely be able to repair Jericho. Sell the Nephi, Daruk, Rivali, and Urbosa's attire.
Wait, you can wear their outfits? On Link?
That'd be weird.
That would be weird.
Let us see if that's the case. Yeah, let's see. A secret and a song. You heard a rumor that a songstress of the Rito tribe knows a tune that tells you of ancient technology and possibly the parts you seek. Give the diva gems, she'll sing you that song.
Beautiful work.
That and the gems you gave her, the songstress performed the tune, which did reveal a promising location. Upon visiting the spot, you found parts that might revive Jericho.
It's Cass's ancestor.
Yeah, nice.
An old man in Daya Village is said to be so knowledgeable, like he has all-seeing powers. Give him something rare or otherworldly, he'll tell you the location of that which you seek.
Good going.
When you visited that place that Daya Village Elder told you about, you found parts that might be just what you need. Maybe the mysterious fellow truly does see all. What is this one down here? Eventide Island. Still need some stuff for that. Let's see, what else do we have? Researcher heading up the stasis upgrade project hasn't eaten his favorite rice in weeks, and progress is slow to a crawl as a result. For science's sake, get the man his rice.
Science needs rice.
Get that man his rice.
Yes, chef. Needs bananas. Okay.
Ugh,
Some bananas.
It's all
Chef
food
brought you
quests.
The ingredients you needed to master the dish and paid you more than the standard price, but mastery is elusive. Collect more ingredients, he'll pay you.
Okay.
Okay.
You probably want to save your bananas, because I think you need those to upgrade Master Koga.
Yeah. Master Koga plus 2 parts.
You get the sneak head. Or sneak
even allowed
thing.
to be this strong?
The crook turned out to be a small boy who loved bananas.
Who would have known? Eat a banana with extra preventive tank.
Let's see, what else do we have?
How's the chat?
Well, Ron Fax says the gang. Hey, gang. Hello, Ron Fax.
Ooh. Hey. Oh.
Need some more discounts. Let's see. Enhance ability for spear. Who cares?
Yeah.
I've
It's
tried
gonna be-
spear. It's not very fun. Impo bonus combo.
New power, new hope.
A lot of these missions are starting to get very high level. Which, I mean, post-game content, so of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep stacking it and stacking it and stacking it.
Oh. Oh.
What is that? Keys and Choo Choo. You just need to fight a battle that has Keys and Choo Choo.
So it would help if you did one of the yellow ones that has the pinging on it, because then you can also finish that mission.
That is true. Let's see.
I think there's some on the top right.
Rampaging Malice. Restricted allies. So it needs to be the Rook.
Cool.
Dirk needs to be 58.
Man.
Can't get him that high that quickly.
Oh.
Probably need to upgrade his weapon anyway. Let's see what's over here. In the Kala Citadel. Or with Trial Expert. One hit failure. Don't do that one.
Looks like no me
I
likey.
think I tried this one before.
Those missions are always annoying. One hit, you're dead?
Yeah, there were one-hit failure missions in the original Hyrule Warriors, and the only way I could get through those were with Sheik because she had that water shield.
Might have been intentional.
I have 100% of this game, and I don't remember how I did those.
Nice.
I want to say it might have been with, like... It might have been Daruk, because he has shielding.
I was gonna say, Link has a beret on. That's
Yeah, he's a green beret.
Yeah. No, Link is a Link is a dress-up doll in this game. He's the only character you can change the appearance of, and all of the cosmetic items you get are for him.
Link is Jill Valentine confirmed.
I don't know. I think it's kind of a good look for him.
He's part of the army now.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's where the beret comes from, is from the Royal Guard uniform.
Right.
And then, oh, he's wearing the barbarian chest piece. That's why he's showing his midriff. It's because it's just like a fur bra, basically.
A fur bra.
Well,
Oh, Link with your fur bra. Fur bra and beret. Only he can pull off that kind of look. I couldn't do it.
I like him waiting how Link can pretty much wear anything in this age and not be weird about it.
I really want to see if you could...
Hey, Jonas,
What?
it's a new idea to draw.
What? Me and that, my character in that outfit? I'll consider it briefly.
Pancho apparently thinks it's Solid Link now. Solid Snake.
Solid Link. I'm really curious to see if Link can actually wear the other heroes' outfits.
Yeah, I don't know if that Styles thing was for Link, or it might be that for the
The other
those
hero.
characters. They might have an alternate style now.
That probably makes more sense. But I still like imagining it's Link.
Well, I mean, Link has like the Gerudo outfit, which is
That's true.
similar to what Urbosa wears.
There's a couple Gerudo outfits. There's the boy one and the girl one. Or what is it? The Vo one and the
Vo and Vi.
Vo and Vi, thank you, yes. God.
Yeah, I think Breath of the Wild probably did more for establishing like a Gerudo culture than any other game. Because I think in almost every other game, there's sort of a slightly antagonistic
Yeah.
group.
They're weird desert people. Yeah, no, you're right. But in this game, they're just, people. Well, not this game. In this game, in Breath of the Wild, they're just people. They're a culture.
Yeah.
As I understand the lore, they only get, male child born, once every century or something, and that happened to be Ganon.
Yes.
Right.
Solus Raptor says, "You got me playing this again." Why, thank you. We're only here to contribute.
We're here to contribute?
Yes.
I'm just
Contribute. Jonas, you being
What?
here is a contribution.
Oh, shucks. You too.
Yeah.
We all bring something to the table.
Yeah.
Except for Stoker. He's a dork.
Yeah.
No.
Who needs bats? Oh. I just feel like I got a target on my head.
You won't see it coming.
You see, what you're feeling right now is the echolocation bouncing off your skull as Stoker zooms into his target.
Yeah. Man, all the way from Canada? Oof.
Yeah. Bats are migratory animals. They'll come to Canada.
Mm.
It's true.
Protect me, Canada!
Not even Canada can save you.
Literally, the Silverwing book is about a group of bats that are migrating between Austin, Texas, and then somewhere in New England.
That's really specific.
Like that red blue moment.
They're based off of a
Technical.
particular colony that the author knows of.
Makes it like it's on a first name basis.
I'm like Griff, before get his butt kicked by Tex in Red vs. Blue. Protect me, Cone!
And Black Hinox with the red eye. I always felt sorry for the Hinox.
Yeah,
They don't look like they're
Stronghold is on the verge of falling.
nice.
And Zelda's with you.
I always wondered, like, once Ganon was defeated, would the enemies just all disappear, or what happens?
It doesn't actually show me what specifically I need to defend, though.
That's not
I
fun.
think it's the central point.
Like,
So you see where the red Wizrobe is on the map?
You know, one thing I really love about all these games is the soundtrack. Just the amount of like work they put into it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I can't hear the soundtrack for this actual game, but I have like 3 hours Zelda orchestral playing, and it's just like, yeah, this is good. This is very chill music.
Definitely had an experience the first time I played the 45th anniversary Ancestral album. That's actually an anniversary album.
Wait, did you say 45th anniversary?
Is it 45th or 25th?
I think 25th, because if it was 45th, if it was 45th, it would be the first Zelda game would have come out in 1976. Or 77.
Okay, it was 25th anniversary. I'm dumb. Album by Koji Kondo.
Hey, Chad. What's your favorite Zelda game? Vote now on your phones. Favorite, but for a long, long time before that, Wind Waker is my favorite.
But for a long time, Wind Waker was my only Zelda game I'd ever played.
Really? Nice.
And then I played Twilight Princess, and Wind Waker was still my favorite.
Didn't really like Twilight Princess.
It was okay. I liked it at the time. It's one of those things where it's like I definitely liked it more then than I do now. Like I look back on it now and I'm just like, oh yeah, the game wasn't that great, was it?
Yeah.
Link to the Past is the one I played the most.
Link to the Past, nice.
You did.
Yeah, Twilight Princess was just kind of okay.
Everybody was thirsty for what's her face, Twilita or whatever.
Midna.
Twilita.
Midna, the Twily Princess.
Not to be confused with. Not to be confused with Princess
how many
Twilight.
people got to the end of the game and saw like her true form and they're like, oh no, she's worse.
That's just worse. Yeah, yeah. We were
Now give me the short stack.
First two Zelda games are like the holy grail where I was at, and people that had like rich kid games.
I didn't really like the second one. I mean, I've probably griped about this before. I felt like it was kind of a departure.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was okay. It just wasn't like it didn't really get me the way the first one did. I didn't like the whole like top down, not top down. What's the term called again? Side scroller. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
I don't think you're unique in that opinion, Jonas. I think a lot of people consider Zelda 2 to be an extremely far departure.
Sadly, it was. I mean, I was one of the ones that wasn't on that boat, but I mean, I know a lot of people that said the same thing as you guys did, so I relate.
I mean, I was sort of, I mean, it's not. I'm not like the series was ruined for me, but yeah, I was.
No, but I get it was pretty much like everybody just wanted Zelda to stay the same as it was in the first one.
Yeah.
See, with Zelda 2, I like the premise that they had behind it. I just don't think that they executed it very well.
That's that was my feeling with it.
That's fair. That's completely fair.
I liked the boss battles the most.
I think if they'd had the like the top down map for Zelda 2, I think it might have worked better. Like for the action scenes.
I think if they like gave Zelda 2 a remake, like how they've given many Zelda remakes thus far, it could come out really well.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Like how the painting wall one.
Oh,
what was the name
Link
of that?
Between Worlds. Yeah.
Link Between Worlds. Like if they did that sort of thing with Zelda 2, I think it could come out really well.
Yeah. I have that one.
So
That's pretty good.
here's the thing: would it be a transformative remake? Would it be basically like not very similar at all, except in name, or would it be just updated graphics and stuff?
I would be in favor
I think
of
the problem
Kind
is-
of
Go ahead, please.
kind of a halfway where like the general idea is the same, but it's I don't know. Like maybe it plays more like in the Smash games where they've got the like adventure areas.
Because I was going to say it.
Like if you know that one part in particular in Melee where you're playing as Link and you're going through those different parts trying to
Emissaries,
find
yeah.
the real Master Sword and fighting all the Dark Links and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how you would balance people who want something that isn't Zelda 2 against the people who were like, no, Zelda 2 is actually
I know how you do it. I know how you do it.
Hmm?
You give it to the people who have been making the recent 2D Metroid games.
Nice.
Just have a Zelda that
actually-
plays like that.
That actually would be a good idea. That's a good idea.
That'd be interesting. I don't know if Nintendo would do that though. I think their plan is to have their IPs be very separated by genre, right? So they're just like, if we want a 2D platformer game, either it's going to be a Mario or a Metroid,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
And if it's a Mario, then all the Toads have to look the same.
I like Stronghold's Fallen. What?
Oh.
Uh-oh. Link, where were you? We needed you.
Link was literally right there, but I think what happened is Zelda might have died.
No.
Okay.
The Allied stronghold has fallen. That's different.
Thing about what I really loved about Zelda 2, though, when I was playing it, was not just because of the side-scrolling, but they had really good boss battles. And even though one of them was literally just like a mook on a horse, I like the idea that they were pretty much like it was just basically a one-on-one duel with the boss with a life bar and everything. It was sort of like a mini fighting game, and I just loved it back then.
Nice.
I was like, Zelda's gonna duel? Yeah, let's duel, Link. Oh wait, I did it again! Ah! I said Zelda's gonna duel. I said Link's gonna duel. Never would have made that mistake as a kid. GC, what are you doing?
It'd be neat to have more playable Zelda in Zelda game.
Also, Rick, your headset seems to be like static.
I don't hear anything.
No?
I'm hearing it a bit.
Just start.
Pick it up.
Let's go. Okay, it looks good now.
Let's see. Alright, I'll keep an ear out for it.
People tell me that the N64 Zeldas were the best, but the thing about when I tried finally playing it, I'll be honest, it was too slow paced.
Hmm.
Granted, I did like the story. I really was like in the mood, the story, and all that. But
Yeah.
the pacing of it is like wow. This
Which
is actually
one?
pretty slow. Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, this start in particular, like until you get to Adult Link, there's a lot of cutscenes and dialogue.
Not only that, but transition from one area to the next. In the other, like the earlier links, you really like spent like 30 seconds at most in an area. But in this one, it was like 2 or 3 minutes. I find in an area. Of course, it was the first time playing it, but still, lots of staying in one zone. I said when I was playing this.
Okay, how did that have me win? I don't understand how that was different.
Huh?
Weird.
You cannot carry any more weapons.
Impossible. Link can carry everything. He's Link.
He's got a
Whatever.
Breath of the Wild all over again.
That's usually the part where I start having a major dip in how much I want to continue playing a Warriors game. When they're like, they've given me 300 items that are basically useless, and they're like, we can't give you any more useless items. Throw away some of the useless items so you can take the new useless items.
Yeah. I wish there was some way to like break them down for materials, you know? But
Well, you
whatever.
can't do that. You can sell them. But what it
That's
should
true.
be is that you should be able to say, hey, if you're ever going to give me an item like below level 55, automatically sell it.
That'd be nice.
Start setting up like that thing in Path of Exile.
Loot filters.
Setting up loot filters in Dynasty Warrior.
Loot filters. You might never know if you got something. Well, I guess
I'm
you know.
okay with that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Jonas, do you know how many millions of things I have not wanted to pick up in Path of Exile?
Isn't that like every game though? Like you always get, you always have like,
Some
20,000.
games are better about it than others, but
Well, games that have scripted equipment, right? There's not a gun in Half-Life that you would leave on the floor.
That's fair.
World of Warcraft. Although to be fair, they actually
Didn't give me enough. Any more keys and choo-choos?
back
More
when
fighting, more death.
Carnage.
at least back when you first played
We
it, it was
gotta
just
play the
basically-
Battle of Hyrule Field again.
Huh.
Or From level 1.
And so this is why they start introducing the Blood Moon levels. So basically, you can go into these early game areas to get like Koroks and different items you need without having to be like fighting level 1 enemies and kind of wasting your experience time.
Nice.
It's like, oh, you can do the same mission, but now you're fighting level 60 enemies.
Hey, do they have the dyeing mechanic, like the dyeing the colors for clothes mechanic in this game?
Yes, I think there's a dye shop in this game.
Nice.
I remember spending some time trying to get my look just right.
Okay, so she does have different costumes.
Okay.
She just has to
nice.
have mix and match different costumes.
Aw,
Right.
that's a cute look.
Imagine it's one of those things where it's like, from all of the different equipment items that you could have in Breath of the Wild, they already had all of the animations for Link wearing those. But if they tried to do that for every character in this game, impossible. So they stuck it to just the single costumes that were most recognizable.
Nice. God, the cosplay for this fandom, for the Zelda fandom, is pretty epic. I don't work in these. That's so.
Oh god, now my memories are coming back to me. I remember I did 100% this game, including getting all the Koroks. Definitely had to start going through Googling Korok locations, Hyrule Age of Calamity.
Yeah.
'Cause I was just not gonna sit there and scrub these areas for hours trying to find them.
Breaking out the checklist.
Remember, you're here for Keys and Choo-Choos.
Yes. I do not know where those are.
I think there's some in the southern area where you get into like a river.
There's some choose.
Son Choo-Choo. Son Choo-Choo, hero of the West.
What?
I don't know.
Hero of the
Hero of the West.
Nice.
Rick,
Breath of the West.
when are you gonna make your evil alter ego Whis?
It's great. Legend of Lunk in the remake. Follow Lunk. He'll have the lead.
A lunk to the past.
A lunk to the pots. Ooh, throw a bomb right here.
A bomb. Entire thing falls down.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just the way that exploded reminded me of in Sonic Adventure for the Dreamcast when that one wall just kind of crumbles away and then it ruins.
Yeah, it's pretty crude. But, I mean, I don't think it needs to be anything more. It's probably one of those things where they were, like, playtesting the game, and then somebody tried that, and they're just like, oh, I could do that in Breath of the Wild. And then they're just like, oh god, we gotta add this in, how are we gonna do this? And they just threw something together.
Yeah, if there's anything games like this don't need, it's a bunch more artifacts temporarily loading in just to load out.
Was that Terrico?
Yeah, because this is one of the story missions.
Oh,
so
right.
things with Terrico here.
Right. It's a rerun.
Yes, Jonas, he's still absolutely dead.
Yeah, thank you. Nobody ever really dies in Nintendo games. It's like Disney rules.
Nobody's
Wait,
ever really gone.
Not Disney. That wasn't what I meant. Like Marvel rules. People die all the time in Disney stories.
Well, sometimes they do die when they don't want to continue their contracts anymore. I'll probably join.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Oh, come on!
I know.
That movie's, what, 2 years, 3 years old?
Spoilers.
Look, the Russo brothers said 3 days, okay? That's all I'm giving it.
What's the statutory limit on spoilers anyway? When can you start talking about them? Is it a month? Is it several months? Is it a year?
Generally, I go with like a month.
A month? Okay.
What movie?
Well, any movie.
Endgame.
Oh, well, yeah, Endgame. Or, I mean, any movie where there's, big spoilers, really.
Hmm.
I don't
Stop
ever.
throwing
I
your
don't
clubs. It doesn't even do that much damage.
Oh, you can play as Zelda.
Because Disney thinks that parents dying is like the saddest thing in the world. Yeah. That's all it is, but at the same time, man, they're overdoing it.
Well, Disney parents usually like either one's completely absent, or like it's like a death with like pathos. It's like Mufasa. Spoilers.
Jonas, come on! Look, I know it's you, but can you please
Okay.
stop being so silly?
Am I being too silly?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
Batman is Bruce Wayne. Batman is Bruce Wayne, guys.
Spoilers.
Spoilers for a now, 90-year-old character?
Spider-Man is Peter Parker. And he brought
Spoilers
this
for the very first issue of Spider-Man.
Adam and
You
Eve
know,
get
this
kicked
guy
out.
named Jesus came back after 3 days. Oh,
Yeah.
spoilers. Sorry.
Adam and Eve get kicked out of the garden. Spoilers.
Oh, you want to be comical? Spider-Man is Takuya Yamashiro.
Oh, is that the Japanese one with like the Leo mecha or whatever?
Yes, emissary of hell, Spider-Man.
I love that. I love that.
Japanese Spider-Man, yeah.
I get to watch the whole thing, but I got a good chuckle out of a couple of episodes. Loved it. I watched the ending to it. I couldn't help but giggle. It was good and cheesy, but it was good.
Give me some of those Alphas trophies. I need those too.
And yes, they were right. It's pretty much Spider-Man Power Ranger mode.
Totally okay with Spider-Man having like a giant mecha. I mean, it's probably effective for crime fighting. Let's be honest, you're not gonna jack a car if Spider-Man's coming at you with a giant mecha, right?
Coolest thing I found out, I'm not spoiling anybody, but they did mention it in the comics that they did integrate Spider-Man Takuya Yamashiro in the comics. How?
Right.
I don't know.
Spider-Man himself, like the design of the costume, sort of lends itself to like that whole like Super Sentai vibe.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, because I'm thinking specifically Kamen Rider is usually like insect themed
Right.
with their costumes.
Right. But also the fact that you can't see his face, that sort of, and his outfit's kind of spandexy.
Something I didn't know too, but apparently the Japanese Spider-Man, Japan really, really loves Spider-Man after that. Even to this modern day, they love him.
Spider-Man's awesome.
He's just so average for a superhero, but that's why people like him.
Yeah, exactly. He is very much the everyman. He's not, he's not like a super soldier or a deity or the last of his people. He's just he's a kid with powers.
That's why I always like the dynamic between like why I like Batman and why I like Spider-Man, because they're not like overpowered, they're just regular people. The only
Right.
thing not regular about Batman is he's super rich, and Spider-Man is super powerful, but he's a bum.
Right. He's a bum.
Well, more like
The
like a-
Tobey Maguire Spider-Man was a bum.
Apparently, if there had been a Spider-Man 4 in the Raimi series, it would have featured his eviction.
fiction.
And I can see
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah. In the this is based on like interviews with Raimi. Apparently, in the fourth movie, he would have gotten evicted from his apartment,
Heidi's.
which makes me wonder if he would have ended up like homeless or like
His
couch
landlord is-
surfing or
His landlord was the real villain all along.
yeah. Just
Lords are the villains in real life.
spoilers.
That's a good one. People actually really like the landlord in the Raimi universe Spider-Man. They hope he comes back in the new version.
I only relatively recently saw the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man films, and I think they're kind of underrated. Like I think people like I know they got some crap, but like I think they're pretty good. I thought so anyway.
Mr.
Definitely
Dickovich, that's what it was.
Mr.
Yeah. Dickovich,
Ditkovich.
Peter Parker's landlord.
Right.
That was the middle series between Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to assume Mr. Ditkovich was named after Steve Ditko. But anyway.
Oh hey, juice. And there was a Koraki just ran by on the side of the road.
There it is.
Yeah. Discord. I had to do that Yahaha 3 times before it would actually pick it up.
Nice.
It's-
Yeah, Discord doesn't seem to like pitch changes or exclamations.
Yeah, I have to like precede it by saying something and then do that, because if I go from silence to that noise, it thinks it's something chirping in the background.
Right.
You know what they needed?
What's that?
The new phone app, Korok Go.
Oh,
You're just
God,
out walking
please,
around, and your phone gives you a notification.
No.
You know, I would play it. Like, I just...
Okay, you know what? I could do that if it was like Clubhouse 51, where every time you found a Korok, it would give you like a tiny puzzle. Like, it's like you find a Korok, and then you have to solve a Rubik's Cube. Or you have to do a sliding block puzzle. Or you have to do something like that.
I would absolutely play a Zelda Pigo game. Like,
700.
just- nice. I
Like,
would...
that,
I mean,
that would make it fun if it had those little puzzles.
I played Pigo for like 3 years, and I still play it once in a while. So, yeah.
Let's see. I'm going to run this way to see if there's any chews on this path.
Well, our car was a dwarf.
I mean, that might be a spoiler, because he might not be a dwarf.
Ah. He's Carl. He's a criminal. That's what. Wrecked this fence. Good luck. What you doing on my front page?
Then
Ome wa mushinderu.
Nani?
Oh my god, Wushinderu.
Oh, we're being raided by Jay McLeod for a party of 9.
Huzzah! Welcome to the stream.
Hello, Raiders.
Hey. Welcome.
Pull up a chair and please enjoy. And if you like it, give us a follow.
absolutely necessary.
There weren't that many choo-choos or keys. I wonder, do you have to fight untyped ones? Like, if you kill an ice keys, do you get an ice? Do you get a
I don't think
keys
there's
trophy?
I
or
don't
an
think
ice
there's
keys
a
trophy?
separate ice keys trophy. I think it's just keys.
Okay. Then you might want to do one of the elemental challenges, because they usually have keys and choo-choos
That's
for that
true.
element.
Yeah.
Keys are the Cyclops bad things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mop. Stick. A mop.
The blood moon rises. On the last mission.
Wow, okay. It's hard enough as it is. I'm not doing that right now. Okay, let's see. Anti-flame training.
It's level 9. I don't know if you necessarily need food for it.
I'm only half wondering because getting staggered by fire attacks is annoying.
Hmm.
That's X while running to shield surf.
Mhm.
You can do that.
Do you also remember that you can hold down, I think it's the right bumper and left bumper on this screen? Oh, wait, no, you can't anymore.
Yeah.
There's
Terraco's
no
gone.
Terraco.
There's no Terraco!
Oh no!
Nah. You can no longer play around on the loading screen.
Yee. And he's dead.
Nice.
Fire Wizards have appeared. Defeat with geese. Fire Wizards have been defeated. That's it. I got some keys. It's pretty fast.
48 seconds for 600 gem or 600 rupees? Not bad.
Probably do like one of the harder ones though. That was very simple.
Jay McLeod says, I generally didn't recognize this as a different game from Breath of the Wild until a million enemies showed up.
It looks very similar. They got that art style down.
There was an article a couple weeks ago about how the grass in this game took hundreds of hours to do correctly.
Wow.
Because of its it was actually a very complex process to do it in Breath of the Wild, and then it was even harder in this game because now they have to have so many other things pushing the graphics engine.
Oh my god.
We need to do this to.
Can you imagine spending that much time just on grass?
Yes, yes, I can imagine putting that much time into something that seems very inconsequential.
Too soon? Oh well.
No, that's not a particular experience I've had like that. I mean, I'm trying to think if I had anything like that that's super big. The thing is, not really, because most often I work on tools and stuff, and I tell myself, oh yeah, every hour I spend working on this tool is going to be 3 hours later that we save. And then I use the tool once and then throw it away.
Nice.
I remember the XKC about that.
Yeah, I've been having to take some time and focus a little bit more on how to get things that work and not worry about if they work well.
Yeah, go for functional first, then put the polish on it later.
Yeah.
So says I, who's done barely any programming.
It's just my teaching and my training for computer science. It's just like, no, I have to do efficient algorithms. I have to minimize my big O.
Makes sense.
Yeah, they don't really do a good job in school teaching you how you're actually going to be coding.
Well, I would contend that computer science is not a degree that teaches you anything about how to code. It teaches you about how code is constructed, but it doesn't teach you how to like really make any one program. Because the idea is computer science is supposed to be almost completely theoretical and language agnostic. So, Tencher says, but if you minimize big O, then it won't be big. That's the point. You don't want a big O that's big.
Ra-da-da-da-da-da.
I think of Big O. I think of that one, that like 90s anime series.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that looks
I didn't get that as a kid. It was like Evangelion for me, where it was like I just kind of zoned out during the bulk of the show, and then for like the 3 minutes toward the end where the actual robots show up, I'm like, oh, cool, giant robots fighting, and then they go back to like stupid Nyorsh stuff again, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess here comes the ending.
That's how a lot of kids watched Power Rangers when they were very young.
They're
They're just like,
You didn't like the segments with Bulk and Skull?
Okay, I like the segments with Bulk and Skull, but then there was all the other stuff that happened before the robots showed up.
Yeah, I can't remember what anything in any show was about. Like, of any episode of Power Rangers was about, aside from the giant robot fights.
Ray, it was about friendship and teamwork.
And Bulk and Skull getting hit with cake.
Yeah.
See, the reason that people like Bulk and Skull is they were the only people characters who had personality.
Yeah, well, except for Tommy. Tommy had some personality.
Tommy had some personality because he was the geek.
Yeah, well, they all had like single character traits, you know, like Billy was intellectual, Jason was the leader.
Oh, they even did it in one episode. One of the villains was like, the Red Ranger was the leader. The
yes,
Pink
the
Ranger-
90s when girl was a personality type.
Also, yeah, leader being a personality type on its own.
And then Blue was like, I'm Scottish. And I'll never forget that.
What was he, Scottish?
Well, he's supposed to be the nerd, but eventually down the road, he got replaced with a Scottish Power Ranger, and he just when questioned about it, he just literally just shouts, "I'm Scottish. That's my superpower." It was hilarious.
God, that show was just...
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was sort of like that too, and they even lampshaded when the Turtles hung out with the Power Rangers. They all had their theme.
Yeah, because Michelangelo was the fun one, Raphael was the angry one.
Mm-hmm.
Donatello was the geek, right?
And there's a serious leader.
Yeah. That's his trait, leader. It's not that he's the leader because of any other trait. It's just his trait is he's the leader.
Yeah. I mean, he's the Red Ranger in this metaphorical sense. He's also the only one that can actually hit Shredder. As continues are starting to show now, is that he's basically the only one that can, out of the Turtles, can actually land a hit on Shredder.
Ninja Turtles was, for all the 90s and like the first part of the 2000s, you know, the Ninja Turtles were just like my source for like what ninjas were supposed to be like until Naruto came around.
Oh, yes. I mean, I did the same thing too. I wanted nunchucks so bad because of Michelangelo when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's why they got rid of them after the first season.
Yeah.
Kids like you.
Yeah.
Stand not having nunchucks.
Oh, Rick.
Oh
That was
wow,
good.
he had nunchucks at one point.
Yep.
It's
remember
been
that.
so long. What has he been using recently? Or did they?
I mean, the thing is, how do you set? I mean, any of those? Okay, katanas. I mean, like.
Yeah, I mean, they
Michelangelo still
that's-
used nunchucks in the video game, so there was that at least.
Yeah.
Well, nunchucks are inherently more dangerous than any other weapon because they're the hardest thing to use.
All true.
Like the issue with swords is that you may hurt someone else. The issue with nunchucks is you're gonna hurt yourself.
Just get yourself in the face. Yeah, I can't even
I
imagine.
mean, I'm still surprised as a kid when they were toys as well, because I was like, swords and size, they're dangerous. Nunchucks and bows, I mean, yeah, you could crack someone's head with it, but man, back then,
Yeah.
like, on a funny note, they suddenly started putting in ninja blades with turtle stuff back when I was a kid too, and I was like, okay, come on. I said ninja blades, and then you got the South Park episode where they even lampshaded, and I was like, yeah, ninja blades and ninja toys.
So I might be the only one to remember this. Maybe Rick does, but do you remember? Do any of you remember Los Luchadores? The Mexican wrestling superhero show made by Saban. This was
That
the thing.
sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't think I
It
ever
was.
watched.
It was right around the same time as Power Rangers. I don't think it lasted more than a season. And it was exactly what it sounds like. It was. There was like
Well,
the main Mexican wrestler guy, and then he had like two sidekicks who also kind of got that kind of outfit, but they were like teenagers. And Solus Raptor says, as a martial artist, I can safely say that bow staffs and nunchucks hurt like hell. I imagine they would because they're weapons. But yeah, and like I remember because like for that particular show, the main characters did a pledge where they were like I think like every episode they were like, we take the pledge to only use our powers for for defensive blah 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 and only to hurt bad people because they're bad and don't do this at home, kids. And like I thought that was so kind of
See,
like
Power Rangers got around that by putting that directly into the theme song.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, they only use their powers to defend. But, yeah. God.
Such a lame theme. Then you hear it during the movie, the rock version. You're like, oh my god, so awesome.
Yeah.
I can't tell any of my friends how awesome this is because they'll make fun of me. But oh my god, this is awesome.
There was one time
Awesome.
when I was listening to it on my computer speakers. The rock version because the movie had just come out, and I was just kind of like chilling and banging my head a little bit, and my brother came in with his video camera and just silently taped me doing that from behind.
What a joke.
Yeah, that's my bro.
Yeah.
Someone says, I remember there was being some vague moral panic that kids would get hurt playing Power Rangers. Given that it's a fighting show, with them beating the shit out of bad guys all the time, that's not entirely unreasonable. I mean, I don't know. I doubt that happened a lot in practice.
Yeah, playing Power Rangers, like, as far as few people I knew of who played Power Rangers meant more just like taking the toys and like smacking them against each other and like coming up with reasons for why Power Rangers would be fighting other Power Rangers because the only toys they ever made were of the Power Ranger
Right.
Megazords and not of the bad guys.
They
I
trick
don't
people.
ever recall seeing a Goldar toy.
That's true.
Is sad too. Well, actually, wait a minute. I do remember a Goldar toy, but they mostly just, of course, make them gold. That was it.
Vaguely remember as like a Lord Zed around the time.
I never saw any of the toys. No, wait, no, that's not true. I saw the Zords.
It. Mhm.
I can think of so many shows from my childhood that would just not fly today. God. Just stuff that was like either the concept itself was on PC or like the execution was on PC, or there were just like episodes that were notoriously cringy.
I mean, you say that, and now you're reminding me of the fact that there's supposed to be a Totally Spies remake coming out, or remake, not remake, revival reboot.
Really?
I can't hear Totally Spies without thinking of that the mascara lens laser scene.
Yeah, the one that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
One, this makes no
Absolute neuron
sense.
melting.
Two, if this did work, you just sliced your friend's legs off.
If it did work, why are you using the mirrors at all? Why not just point the lipstick at the door?
It's cartoon logic. Don't
It's-
question it.
Ugh.
No, it's Smash Brothers logic.
It's
It's how reflectors work. Every time you
Clearly.
reflect something, it gets stronger. Yeah, shows that wouldn't fly now. I don't think you could get it past any board of directors selling Beetleborgs at this point.
That show.
It existed.
Was that the one?
I can't tell you much more beyond that.
Yeah, no, I vaguely remember it. One of them, God, one of them had a talking dog. Was that might have been Beetleborgs? I can't remember. Like, and I don't mean like a talking dog from the dubbed over segments. I mean like they added the talking dog to like the American cast because kids like.
Was it an
talking dogs.
actual dog?
It was just an actual dog with a voice.
Okay, because I know one of the Power Rangers seasons had a like anthro dog person.
Oh, yeah. It was like,
I think it was the police one.
yeah, they call him like
SPD.
Kruger. Yeah. mhm.
Yeah. I do not remember a talking dog, but I don't remember Beetleborgs either. So
Oh no, it was VR Troopers. That was the one with the talking dog.
oh yeah.
Why do I remember this? Why do I remember this?
I remember the McDonald's direct-to-video show had a talking dog.
Frustrated, but you're
That one was wild.
I'm just marveling that my brain retains this useless information. It's like, does this enrich my life in any way? No. It's just there forever, apparently.
Okay, cutscenes. I've already done this. You just want to play the level. Just want to rebuild Terrico.
Hmm.
We're gonna do our own timey-wimey shenanigans by going through the same day several times in order to achieve it.
Yay.
Completely forgot she had this attack.
One of my favorite shows growing up.
Defeat the surrounding Yiga clan, but
It was on the Kids Network back then. It was Ghost Rider. A lot of good ideas for that show back then. That was really sweet.
Oh, hell yeah! Jane McLeod says Cyber Chase was great. Yeah! Somebody else in the world remembers Cyber Chase!
Was Cyber Chase the one where
Gilbert Godfrey was the robot
was the bird?
What?
Which
God.
is apparently apparently he gets typecast for that.
Yep.
That's just what birds sound like.
Never heard of it. Cyber Chase.
It was
Sounds-
a PBS kids show that was like math focused.
Vaguely remember that. I don't think I watched it, but I think like I may have incidentally seen it on like.
You know how people make jokes about the thing where it's just like, this guy has 50 watermelons. If you take 3 watermelons from him, how many does he have? The show is literally those kind of scenarios.
Nice.
Where it's just like, I have this, and then I need to multiply it by this. So how many things do I have?
Oh, jeez. I'm reading about it right now, and yeah,
Hmm.
Gilbert Godfrey was the bird. Okay, yeah, I can see why they did that. He mentioned in an interview he just got extremely popular ever since Iago, and I don't blame them. He was awesome, as Iago.
He has a podcast now, or he had a podcast. Anyway. I don't know if it's still going.
One of the things he says,
Well,
if they
that's
won,
their salt.
apparently he paraphrased it. If they wanted a nice parrot, they wouldn't have asked for me. With that annoying voice. He showed up at Starnado? What?
Purchase
happened?
is still going?
Is it still with him?
That's a good question. I don't know, but the 13th season is coming out February 25th, 2022.
Nice.
Holy
Arthur's
shit.
still going.
Well,
How
Arthur's
is that show
ending
going?
soon, unfortunately. I think they said Arthur was going to end this year.
I
You know
only
what?
watched one episode.
Oh no! With Arthur, yeah, they're doing a time skip. Apparently.
What they're doing? They're doing Arthur all grown up.
Yes,
They're
that's-
doing Arthur
my God.
Shippuden.
This. Yeah. He trains for 3 years and his powers become perfect. No. Apparently, yeah, they're gonna do some kind of time skip where Arthur and friends are all aged up. I guess like 10 years or whatever, which is gonna be weird. What if he has inexplicably has patchy facial hair, even though he's a mouse? It's just
Not
it's
a
like,
mouse. He's an
aardvark.
An aardvark, whatever.
He had
Mouse
an
aardvark.
entire song about this.
Mouse, aardvark, same thing.
I know this because in the earliest Arthur books, he actually does things like, eat ants.
Nice. You can tell how much I watch the show.
Yeah, but the fact that they're animals is never brought up in the show.
You kind of forget about it until they bring on a real life person and only half make them an animal.
Oh, like Neil Gaiman?
Oh, yeah, that stuff is always weird.
Neil Gaiman, what are you doing in my falafel? I only know about that because of Stoker.
I know they did.
This is
Backstreet
the
Boys-
Matt Damon one.
they did
That's the
Back-
one I always think of.
Chat says, yeah, Gilbert Godfrey's still doing Cyber Chase. Dang.
That's amazing. That guy's a boss.
Show's been going for 20 years.
Probably most folks won't remember this, but I'm just curious. Does anyone in chat remember the Electric Company, 3-2-1 Contact, or Square One? Any of those?
Remember Square One?
Nice. Rick knows what's up.
I was literally 4 years old when it was on television.
Yep.
That was a little bit before my time.
Yeah.
That is before my time. I mean, I'm saying I was very, very young at the time.
Yeah, it would have been in reruns by the 90s, I think. Maybe. I'm not sure. Yay, Simon remembers Stage 1 Contact and Square One.
I remember 3-2-1 Contact from a little bit later.
Yeah.
I do not remember anything that was on that show, however.
3-2-1 Contact had the greatest, funkiest science theme ever. I can't even like replicate it. It was so funky.
Yeah, I was more of the Bill Nye generation.
Yeah, Solo Raptor. I remember Masked Rider. That was something. I saw a little bit of Bill Nye just because my brother really liked watching him.
I never watched it at home, but get it in class all the time.
They wheel out the TV that's like Velcro strapped to the cart.
Do any of you remember Beekman's World?
Yes.
Yes.
Good times.
I actually like that despite the fact that everybody else hated it. I don't know
Really?
why everybody else hated it.
I kind of liked it.
There was
It wasn't bad.
also
I didn't watch it much.
Magic School Bus.
I never really watched that. I know that a lot of people are just super fond of it.
I really liked Between the Lions.
I vaguely remember that. Puppets, right?
Yeah.
Puppets and like reading?
I think it was Jim Henson too.
Yeah, sounds about right.
But I definitely, thinking back on that show now, I'm just like, maybe that's where my ADD came from, because that show was an ADD trip. Like, just like 15 different segments in like 20 minutes. Just one to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, and you're just like, ah!
Alright, I got one that probably none of you will remember. Does anyone in Discord or in the chat remember Vegetable Soup?
No.
That one was technically before my time. It was in reruns when I was a little kid. It was very strange. It was very 70s.
The very first image on Google Images when I search vegetable soup show is this terrifying looking puppet.
Let me take a look. That's probably from the this is from the show. Oh Jesus. That's from the show. Okay. This is what I know about Vegetable Soup. It was produced in like the early 70s by like the New York Department of Education, and it was like animated by hippies. And it's incredibly strange to watch. There are a lot of the segments are just, I mean, you can see how unsettling the puppets are, and the animation is very trippy. It's just like, I thought maybe like looking, remembering it, I thought maybe I'd like hallucinated it, like I dreamed it up or something, but no, it's all real. I mean,
was this a fever dream? No, this was publicly funded.
mm-hmm.
You had hoped you had dreamed it up, and unfortunately for all of us, it was real.
You have inflicted upon us.
Now you know. I mean, it was pioneering in some ways because it had a little more diversity than your average kid show back then, but it was also just incredibly strange.
Rick, you got some pretty loud static coming through now.
Oh yes.
Oh
yes.
yeah, I can hear it now. Yeah.
There we go.
I don't know
All
what's
right.
going on with that, because I can see it showing up on Discord, but then your avatar isn't reacting at all to it, so...
The Discord is picking up the static, but not the avatar, which means that Discord's noise gate isn't working as good as it should.
Yes.
All right. Obscure shows. Anybody heard of the Bots Master?
No.
Okay. Kid or teenage genius makes robots. Works for a company. Finds out his robots are being made for evil villains, so he decides to beat the corporation with his robots.
Nice.
Laser time, boys, was the catchphrase of the show. It was so cheesy because you had every time he says that, what you're supposed to do? put your 3D glasses on and watch 3 cuts of animation on a show that can only be seen in 3D.
Hang on. Let me Google this.
It,
Master.
yeah,
Oh, that was a 90s one. Okay.
yes. This show advertised the 3D aspect of the show so much, even though it was reused animations, it was bound to fail.
I'm definitely going to look this up later because this looks so... you know what it looks like? It looks very anime. It looks like somebody saw like 80s anime and thought, oh, okay, here's some cool concepts I should draw from. Or maybe... Was it animated in Japan?
No, it was, I'm trying to remember what it was animated as.
Oh, it was made in France.
As the website says TV Trope says, noted for being one of the fewest shows that not coming from Japan that was about robots.
Wow, that's crazy.
Classics of French anime, Code Lyoko.
For anime.
Also, I also forgot the name of the main character, the guy that built the robots. Ziv Zoolander. What a name. I'm Ziv Zoolander. Come on, boys, I'm the Botmaster. Yeah. It was a recyclable show that just wanted kids to watch because it was cool to be hip, watching 3D robots beat other robots with the same moves over and over again in 3D.
Jade McLeod, I love the original Secret World of Oz special, and I will not watch the 2000 series. Sorry. There is only the only one that matters is the 80s.
Oh, Solus, you seen the Bots Master? That's cool. I didn't think anybody would remember that one. That's cool.
Let's see. Adventures in the Book of Virtues. I remember that. Of course, I remember the original DuckTales. I remember today's special. It was weird.
Excellent Flash. No, don't know that one.
Good old Ruby Spears Mega Man that started out with some pretty straightforward and sensible plots, and then turned into...
That was the Lion Man one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you see? Did you watch it enough to see Mega Man X in it, at least? Did you get to see that episode?
Yeah, there was that one episode where...
Remember that one
travel.
scene where the linemen are turning people into other linemen and they zap like a guy who's fishing and he gets turned into a lion. He doesn't even notice. He's just still sitting there fishing.
I mean, that's what Rick's doing right now.
That's what I'm saying,
Nobody
that's
notices.
house pets.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see here. Funny enough, I think I mentioned this on the stream previously, but it turns out that the Mega Man series is still being developed in Japan. Like, they're still making the series bigger, despite not being input in a phone anymore. So, it's pretty cool. Let me see here.
The Mystic Knights of Tir na Nog.
Oh no, I remember that.
I know that name, but did I watch it?
It was, again, Saban Power Rangers era, but it was like, it was drawing on, swords and sorcery and vaguely Celtic concepts.
Oh, yeah. This is familiar. I don't think I watched it.
They were absolutely just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what stuck, They were like, wow, Power Rangers is a success. Maybe we should just try everything we can in a grab bag and just make it like Power Rangers.
What that reminded me of, though, is Pirates of Darkwater.
Oh, yeah, that was Hanna-Barbera.
The show that didn't actually get an ending.
Yeah.
That's been overdue for a reboot for decades.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Speaking of shows that didn't get an ending, did anybody remember Tom McFarlane's Spawn? Oh, man, that was good.
I only saw the first episode of that. And I think it's, I think it might deserve another shot just because I don't think the animation was quite like it wasn't quite there yet,
Oh, the animation was really good, but the thing was there was a lot of the whole series was basically focused on the Spawn. I guess people didn't like so much focus on the Spawn, but I thought that was actually pretty good. And Spawn, of course, back then I didn't know this, but he was supposed to be dark and very dark the way they did it on that show back then. I was like, really? That's not very superhero friendly, and apparently that wasn't the way it was supposed to be. But oh wow, it was when I started watching, I got hooked.
Yeah.
It was really good. Yes, you say it's on par with the '90s Batman series. It's in, yeah, because well, I mean, the thing is, like, as the thing about the Spawn series, though, like you say, it dealt with like religious themes and superhero comic, and that was something very dark for a show back then. You wouldn't get that kind of stuff out of Batman or Spider-Man, of course. Spawn was pretty much focused on that kind of thing as part of its storytelling, because, well, he's literally the superhero from hell, as they said in the show, which back then, they would definitely not tell kids that.
Well, okay, DC kind of dabbled a little bit. Like, there was one character who I think was just called the Demon, if I remember correctly, in DC continuity, and also, like, the DC animated universe, where he was Etrigan. His name was Etrigan, that's right.
Etrigan, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't say he was from hell, but, I mean...
They sure sent
totally
him there quite a few times.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Spawn was more of an anti-hero.
Man, I want to go back and watch Justice League and Justice League Unlimited again.
I like Justice League.
Well.
I feel like the peak for me, the point where it really was like the best point in the DC universe was around 97 or 98, when like they revamped the Batman style a little bit, made it a little more streamlined. Robin became Nightwing, and they had a new Robin, and like it was like they were really just like the series felt really design heavy, and there was like really like tight storytelling. Was
that like the one where what's her name? Like the episode with, I think, Dollface, where
Baby Doll?
Yeah, Baby Doll, with the one episode that ends with like her smashing all the mirrors.
Right, yeah. They revamped
that was really good.
They revamped like all the character designs. Like Poison Ivy got smaller and thinner. Joker, like, he got like the dark eyes, like the black eyes. They completely changed like Killer Croc, and again, I remember this. Why do I remember
Clayface?
Clayface. And it was like, it was right before Beyond started, which I also loved. I love that show.
Beyond was great.
Yeah, that whole aesthetic.
You like Beyond? Who could have ever thought that?
Yeah, go fig, right? That was that. Just the look of everything.
Right.
I'm watching this. Watching this the Lion Man for Mega Man on loop. Anyway, let me close that.
Oh, was that about Mega Man?
Oh, I was like, because you guys mentioned Mega Man earlier, the Ruby Stage Mega Man. I was like, I was trying to find a GIF.
He opened the gift for the Lion Man and just kind of let it keep going.
Yeah, it just sort of kept looping ones.
I really do appreciate that time of Batman, because the two styles I really like are Art Deco and Cyberpunk, and so having Batman the Animated Series and then Batman Beyond right next to each other is just
Batman Beyond was
phenomenal. Yeah, and I did like Superman. Sorry, go ahead.
And it was great because by having them at the same time, you had the same voice for Batman.
Yeah. I mean,
and you get to hear Batman being old being grandpa, which was good.
Yeah, Kevin Conroy doing that.
Yeah,
that deep, dark delivery. And I like Super. Go ahead.
I was just going to quote him. He says, how can a kid fail home ec class?" In the Batman tone.
I like the Superman show too, but it had a different feel to it fundamentally, because it was, Superman's Superman's more like like a demigod. He's trying to find his humanity. And whereas and he fights other demigods essentially. Characters that are generally kind of larger than life. Batman felt a little more just like human and relatable to me.
Yeah,
It's-
especially animated series try to paint a lot of Batman villains as more tragic villains.
Yeah,
Like Dollface and Mr.
Yeah.
Freeze, especially. It's just like, victims of their circumstance more
Right.
than they wanted to be evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even some of that carried into Batman. So I know they had some stuff with Mr. Freeze in there,
They did.
and
I think
Bane being like in the nursing home and stuff,
yeah.
all his chemical
Yeah.
stuff.
Bane was like post steroid, withered, completely juiced out, shriveled. Don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah.
Especially
See-
don't do venom.
I'll take punches.
The one drug you can do, as advertised by the Batman Beyond series, is splicing.
Oh, that's right.
Absolutely do splicing, kids.
The furry episode. There were a couple. of them.
Batman did that a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say a lot, but they did like 15% of the time.
I remember they did. Okay, back in the old show, they did the Man Bat. That was like the first episode. They did. There was one where Catwoman turned into a cat, and I
Yeah.
think I was probably.
And she had a boyfriend.
Yeah, I was like, that's right. She had a boyfriend. She had like Panther dude, like handsome Panther dude, who's like,
Oh, right, that was Batman.
no wonder
I
it
thought
turned out
that was
furry.
Gargoyles. That may have also been Gargoyles.
That was also
Gargoyles
a thing in
did too,
Gargoyles.
yes.
Yeah. So many shows did furry episodes. No wonder I turn out like this. Just
Oh yeah, when in Gargoyles, when in the pack,
Yeah,
everyone
There was
was
also-
after it. But then, what's her face? Fox getting the the whatever, the Phoenix medallion or whatever, and that for some reason turns her into a werefox.
that's right. You ever notice how whenever there were like animal transformations in those old shows, like they'd be more buff or more sexy as an animal, like they'd be more curvy or more like muscular,
Well, yeah, because that was the
Yes.
trend with
Right.
all of like the
And then like
the
they'd be like,
non-transformation one. You
and they'd be like,
guys-
"Don't look at me, I'm hideous." No, you're beautiful.
I can't
Also,
stop staring.
Do you think the furry fandom appeared out of nothing? Do you not think there have been people throughout time who had fascinations and had day jobs as animators?
Well, yeah,
I thought you-
one of the very first art pieces that has ever been was literally furry.
Yeah.
So-
The-
Actually, I actually gotta make a correction real quick. It was actually the Eye of Odin that turned Fox into a werewolf.
Oh,
not
yeah,
the-
the-
okay. Mil, I thought you were gonna say they had day jobs as animals, but yeah, this
No, because it was like the Astro Boy artist
Tezuka.
who passed away. They
Yeah,
found out that he had a bunch of like transformation pieces.
yeah, and like pinups of mice chicks and stuff like that. Yeah, I know. Go figure.
Boob snake? Man was a frequenter of boob snakes.
Hold on, let me.
You know, looking
You're
back
telling
on
me
it,
that the guy who wrote Boggy is a furry.
That's right.
you know, if we were to take this out of context, the Eye of Odin, it's supposed to turn you, the host, into what they truly are, and mentally as
Am I
well.
allowed to do that one again?
So,
Need to change the weapon. Okay,
Eye of Odin is a furry. Ah,
we won't do it automatically.
Odin
I'm
is a
not gonna-
furry confirmed.
I'm not going to link these, but Google like Osamu Tezuka furry art. It's amazing. God.
I think I really liked about Gargoyles. They had a lot of mystical stuff in there I had no clue about, and I was learning, and I was getting into it.
Oh yeah, that's true. They drew a lot on like European stuff, like I remember Puck was in there, and some of like the Norse gods, and
They had Norse.
Yeah, they went deep at one point on European stuff. The whole
I was surprised.
what was that area called?
where?
Ascalon? No.
Oh,
Avalon.
Avalon.
Ascalon.
Avalon doesn't take you where you want to go. It sends you where you need to be.
That's right. The world
I
tour.
only had the
Mr. Guy who wasn't Sean Connery but went into the audition determined to give his best impression of Sean Connery, and they hired him and said, "Keep doing that."
Nice.
I remember, who did he end up acting as on the show?
Macbeth.
Was it Macbeth?
Yes.
Right. I've forgotten so much about that show, other than Demona.
Yeah, who was blood tied to Demona.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Demona was a super popular on that show.
Yeah.
Even I liked her.
It's not to like.
Good point. What's not to like? What am I saying?
Not to like.
That's not,
episode
you know what,
where
I just
she-
realized.
She's trying to make a deal with like Puck or whatever to get rid of all the humans, and so she accidentally turns all the humans into gargoyles. And
That's-
she's wandering around as a human, and they're all screaming because it's a human.
God, that's right.
She, no, I don't think that's what happened. She was just, like, she didn't want the humans to be gifted as gargoyles, because it basically made her, yeah, that's basically what happened. I forget why she didn't like it, but, I think it was because she didn't like the ideas that the humans were gifted, with gargoyle traits. She basically felt like she was giving them something that she loved about her species, and they weren't worthy enough for it. Oh, man. So she wanted to all take it back.
I really need to rewatch that.
Demona was a mess. That's really why a lot of people liked her.
Yeah.
No matter what you did for her, she hated it, even though she kept saying she wanted it.
Why did their clothes turn to stone along with them when the sun rose?
That's how gargoyle clothes. That's why they wear the same ones all the time.
Is that okay?
They never take a bath. Go turn to stone.
Rick's the writer, I believe it.
Look, you want to know the way I look at it? The train of stone is secretly hygiene for them. It cleans them.
Yeah. They just
It turns all the dirt. All the dirt gets turned to stone.
Yeah, it's like
That
taking
is
ice.
a good point. That it's not that they turn to stone and then they turn back to flesh. Every time night comes, they do like scream and shed all of it.
So it's like secretion or something?
Yes, but their clothes also are part of the stone layer that get.
Okay, so it's like stone sweat.
I mean,
And
it's
what
like
happened-
a pupa, right?
Okay.
A caterpillar cocoon.
All right, I'll buy that. Headcanon accepted.
Also, they have to force themselves out of the stone every time they wake up. So
Yeah.
So it's like an
I-
egg.
I only ever had the VHS of the movie that started the series. I never actually watched the series itself, and I feel like I missed out.
Did
I didn't know there was a movie that started it.
it was like a 5-part. Well, they later split into like a 5-part episode. But yeah, it was like a TV
Right,
movie,
Jake.
like 2 hours, and
Yeah, it starts with them defending a castle from a Viking raid
Oh.
in 1100.
Okay, then yeah, I did. Yeah, I saw that as the episode, as a standalone.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the castle gets hoisted onto the skyscraper, and then they look at introduced to New York and all that kind of stuff.
yeah, good times.
stone is just gargoyle dandruff. Nah, I wouldn't say that. I thought something like that similar at first, but then you wonder how did clothes get dandruff on them like that? And then dandruff gets on your skin, and it takes
It's magic.
No,
Literally just wave your hand at everything and say it's magic. Don't worry.
I don't buy it, Miller.
Don't wave your hand. You have to wiggle your fingers if you're going to say magic.
Magic.
Exactly.
Okay.
You just need some more meat.
Me.
I'm rib.
Hi.
How much you got?
Huh?
Disney might make continue the Gargoyles series, but it looks like it's not something we probably want to see anymore. Consider how old it is now. But boy, they're teasing.
There was a big push for it at one point. Like I think there was like a petition, and I don't know. I mean, I would love to see more or like a reboot or something, but like they would really need to do it right, like the way they did DuckTales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's so many ways you could script a reboot. That said, yeah, I would totally watch it.
Yeah.
Okay, would they be brought? Because the original Gargoyle show was like basically the late 80s, right? Or early 90s.
Early 90s.
Yes.
90, 93, 94.
Sometime in
It's
there.
like modern day in quotes. If you did a reboot, would it be modern day like now, or would it? Because I feel like you would want to do this like future.
Well,
Good news. Gargoyles can actually be made modern because they did actually do that kind of thing in the show back then. Like, have Gargoyles mess around with modern tech as things went on. So,
Well, I mean, like when they get let out of their curse and they rejoin the modern day or whatever, like when the series starts off, I'm feeling like it should be like 2070, 2080.
yeah, sure. I mean, I got no problem with that.
I don't know, maybe that's just me.
I think it just needs to be like
Cyberpunk gargoyles.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they kind of they.
Oh,
I know
yeah,
they.
that- oh, sorry, go ahead.
I know they played with that in at least one episode.
Yes,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
I don't-
That's what I was gonna say. That one episode.
I don't remember anything about it. Just that it was in the future because
All
they
I
had
remember in it was something like a computer disk being super valuable or whatever because
yeah.
oh yeah,
high amounts of
2.5
data
floppy.
on this laser disc sized computer disk.
You never a twist at the end of the episode? Should we mention it?
I don't remember
Spoilers,
the plot.
JC. No,
Yeah. Spoilers.
Well, I'm only saying there's a twist, but I'm not saying what the twist is.
how dare you
Um,
spoil me?
Hmm.
I'm gonna cancel you on Twitter.
Oh, was
Oh,
okay. Vaguely
no.
remembering. Was it like they were in the future and it wasn't Xanatos, but it was actually the small gargoyle who had turned cyber and evil, but he was actually Xanatos or something?
Yes.
What? Really?
That his brain had got uploaded in some. I don't
Wow.
know.
Yes,
That-
but who? And it was uploaded by someone.
Bronx was the small one.
No. Bronx was the dog. He was the
Lexington.
dog gargoyle.
Lexington was the little one. The one that looked like
Lexington.
Gollum.
Lexington. Yeah.
Lexington.
The only
Lexington,
one
Broadway, Hudson was the old guy.
Right.
The only one I can remember is the old one was Hudson, because I remember the scene in the movie where he gets his name by looking out onto the river.
At the river.
He was
Yeah.
voiced by Ed Asner.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was awesome. Loved him in the show.
Yeah.
He sounded so wise, so diligent.
He was Broadway because he's broad.
Ha
Because he was the.
Oh, that's Patrick.
ha ha.
God,
That
that
was just-
show.
That was also his darkest work, if I remember correctly. Even though it was gargoyles, but yeah, wow.
Mm.
Ooh, Divine Beast battle.
And then there was Griff, who was a griffin.
Oh yeah, he was a bird dude, and he
Because-
hung out with like a lion and a
because-
unicorn.
He was Pete before he became House Pets, guys.
Because they ran out of creative names by then.
Well, he was actually one of the early characters, wasn't he? Like when they started introducing the other species. So I think the problem with him is he just didn't have much originality when he made his name.
Were there like other gargoyles, like Japanese ones too?
Okay, yeah.
Was it
God,
cringe?
I'm remembering them all. There was
Yeah,
like
see, it's like some of the stuff.
there were the cat gargoyles at one point. There
That's
was
right.
like the
yeah.
three
Unicorn.
gargoyles that came back later. One of them ended up being in like a cyborg Goliath.
Yeah,
Yes.
like Demona, like Frankenstein them together or some shit.
Was voiced by Worf.
And, yeah, there were like 3 souls in one body, and then they made 2 other bodies for them instead.
I
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
need to watch this again.
Yeah.
I don't think I've watched this since like the 2000s, and I feel a need.
Didn't know it back then, but that gargoyle you were talking about right there with the free souls in one body was actually voiced by Worf, and I like
Nice.
that.
Is it on him? Oh yeah, it is. Nice.
Yeah, he was.
Why did they have all the TNG people? That was so weird.
That was a good question.
That was the thing. There were all those Star Trek people that happened to go over to that.
Yeah, they had like
That's-
everybody.
And they did, and sadly, Patrick Stewart wasn't there, but he was apparently supposed to play as Arthur
Oh, yeah?
Pendragon on that show.
Mm. Right, because
I'm
they
gonna
had the
check
whole
that.
Knights
Mhm.
thing going.
Yeah, that
That
would have
show
been
went places.
with its history. Yes, like the history for a fantasy show was actually pretty spot on. The only thing
Went
is
back
like
to World War II at one point. That's where Griff was from, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Riff?
yeah.
Yes, I think so. Let me double check again.
Remember something about like a airplane bomber fighters going on, but they were old style.
Oh yes, Griff was Sir Griff in the show. That's right. Voiced by Neil Dixon. Let's see. Here.
This show was so unlike all the other Disney afternoon shows. You know,
Oh.
you've got like gummy bears, you know, Winnie the Pooh, bonkers, and then gargoyles.
Yeah. Well, they I read about it online. They were trying really hard to compete with Batman animated series back then. They needed
Yeah.
something like gargoyles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was originally pitched as a comedy, wasn't it?
Really? Oh
So.
my god. You know, I could absolutely believe that.
There were a lot of comedic moments, usually with the like the 3 gargoyle, or basically everyone who's not Goliath. Whenever they're the ones who are kind of the focus of the episode, like the Halloween episode, where they go out and they try to go out in their disguises, and they're like, these people are like, "Oh, costume over a costume, way to go,
Oh.
dude!"
That's right.
But if I remember right, they had despite Lisa having like being a detective and having a gun on her at all times, like at one point, like deep into the series, they had an episode that was about gun safety.
Oh yeah, and they banned it, like didn't they? Like they never aired it again, like because I
Actually,
remember that.
I think
They
it was
took
like
it back.
Broadway accidentally shoots
Yeah.
or something.
Yes.
And she ends up being fine, but yeah.
I've never read
she
that
was-
I don't
before.
recall that being banned, though.
I
It-
feel like it
It was banned on VHS. That's what it was.
was. It was that what? Okay.
That I can believe, yeah.
Yeah.
On Disney Plus or anything else afterwards, it came back.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a different time now.
Yeah. That was such a wow episode. Like they had blood in it.
That's right.
And it was actually they wanted to make a point that on this episode it was going to continue on later. Like she always say checked her gun, and Broadway really hated guns after that episode. They made
They
sure
also-
that Go ahead.
I feel like I remember they also did like a literacy episode because like the gargoyles were like they were either illiterate or like barely literate, and like who was it? I think Broadway like got into books
Yes.
and like
Yeah, Hudson was Hudson was always watching TV.
yeah, Hudson got into TV.
They got him his TV early on, and that was what he did.
That's what he does. He's the
Blame him.
dad.
sitting there watching shows with Bronk.
I loved it. It was something that I figured anybody in that kind of age would love. Sitting there watching television all day.
Kids mentioned Marsupilami, and I have to share something cool. So, in America, Marsupilami only had one show produced by Disney. I think like late 90s, early 2000s. And in Europe, there were like 4 or 5 Marsupilami animated series. I think like one of them was CGI, and I knew nothing about those.
Huh.
And you should check them out because they're actually pretty cool. I mean, you know, like there's the very American Disney-ish way of doing cartoons, and then there's kind of a different way that they do in like Europe when they can just do what they want. And it's kind of it's neat. It's different.
Oh, I didn't know this, but there was actually a pig gargoyle in the London clan. Constance, her name was.
Did you say pink or pig?
Pig.
Pig.
Like
okay.
I can't remember if it was a pig or a boar, though. So-
Right.
And they also had a stag gargoyle. I didn't know that.
I don't remember that. But
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, that's because the stag one wasn't actually on the TV show. Okay. Oh, geez.
it's weird because like at that point the rule was like, oh, okay, gargoyles can look like any animal with wings.
Yeah. Basically, the idea they were going with the show was all myths were true. Gargoyles can become, like, in certain places around the world, different
Right.
animals.
Yeah, they're everything.
In New York, they were mostly human, and, well, with the exception of Brooklyn.
Human
Right.
with sort of like quasi-reptilian sort of stuff going on,
Yeah, it's whatever people make their gargoyles or
Right.
just stone statues look like.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised, or maybe they did, but I'm just not remembering that there weren't any like foo dog kind of gargoyles from
I'm sure
Japan.
if they'd gone to like China, there would have been,
See, I would have loved to see one of those Neko statues where it has like the arm that swings back and forth.
Oh, the beckoning cat, yeah.
Yeah, one of those comes to life.
They had Chinese
But
gargoyles.
it's like its arm is stuck in that it can only move up and down. It can't move the arm in any other way.
Oh no.
Let's see here. One of the episodes where Avalon was sent go live all around the world had an episode where they sent it to Canada, and I'm trying to remember that episode. But one of the things that caught me off guard is that they had like a vengeful spirit of a gargoyle on this one. I'm trying to find out what it was. Raven. That's
We're
right.
still over there playing Hyrule Warriors. We're just like massively reminiscing.
I mean, it's post-game content, right?
Yeah.
And Raven was a crow gargoyle.
Really?
Yes.
I don't remember that. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I missed some of the episodes.
There were quite a few,
Yeah, there was a lot.
and a lot of characters weren't like in many episodes.
I taped what I could when I remembered it was on, but I did not watch it religiously.
Actually, I could be
Like-
wrong. It might have been well. It makes more sense if I think about it now. He was Raven. Well, because his name was Raven. But on the show,
Right.
it looked like he was a crow.
What's in
Well, it's
there?
entirely possible that they got those mixed up or even did it on purpose.
Right. Was there an alien episode?
No, I don't think.
I wouldn't
right.
be surprised. I don't remember one, but
Maybe I'm thinking of a different show. I don't know.
They did reference aliens on the shows that Hudson was watching, and Brooklyn and Broadway, of course, were hooked to it. But I don't remember there being any actually aliens on the show.
Okay.
I could be wrong. It's been a long time.
Maybe I'm smoking it. I don't know.
I'm sure if the show had kept going long enough, they would have introduced alien gargoyles at one point as sort of a one-off thing.
They're made of moon rocks.
Well, here's the thing I want to mention. They were going to event. They mentioned in an interview they were going to, because they already hinted on the show, but the Illuminati. And if the Illuminati was in there, aliens would be involved.
Oh, right. There was the whole Illuminati thing.
Yeah, the detective dude ran
Yeah.
afoul.
Oh, that guy!
Yeah,
Oh, I
redhead.
forgot him!
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
At the start of the show, he kept on raving about the Illuminati, and nobody believed him. And yes, the show, the comic books mentioned that yes, they were going to be a big thing in the show. But yeah, it never got that far. In fact,
Man,
if they ever did make the show, that's probably what the focus would have been. Actually, now that I think about it.
yeah, God. That show was all over the place, but they made it work somehow.
Yeah. Not a
They
lot of
checked their
shows
sources.
can bounce all over. They'll feel system that.
Yeah.
I was now that I look back on it, Disney, like I said, had some pretty smart people work for them. I'm sure, like they'd had a franchise like they would have kept it going, if only because the series wasn't making business. That was the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember they were trying to sell that helicopter the first episode, and everybody was like, "Why the helicopter? Why not just give us the gargoyles? Come on!"
The helicopter?
The helicopter that Brooklyn and Broadway and Lexington were flying and crashed. They were more interested for some reason selling the cool gadgets.
Yeah, there was also like that motorcycle that appeared in
Was
one
this, like-
episode. But
was
that
this
was
for,
just to make a toy. of
Brooklyn's
it.
motorcycle?
Oh, because they needed to make toys to compete with the Batman vehicle toys.
Right.
Yes.
I don't remember.
To the
I don't-
Gargoyle Mobile.
I don't remember any of the toys or their appearances in the show, but I believe you. That sounds very much in line with the 90s.
The hilarious thing, though, is in the Gargoyle show, these vehicles, they only lasted one episode. They blew up.
That's probably because they didn't want to bother, like forcing everyone to animate them for multiple episodes.
I mean,
Granted,
the creators basically said outright that they did not want just, vehicles in the show just because.
Right.
So they
That
just,
absolutely.
they just put it in one episode and crashed them. It was like, okay, it's been in the show now. You can sell toys of it if you want.
I mean, it was cool seeing Brooklyn drive a bike and what all the things he did while he was driving. But I mean, it's not like you're gonna come up with like what the Turtles did, like the turtle van or something like that. Come on.
Party van.
That's why a whole bunch of shows back then, like He-Man and whatnot, everyone had kind of the same build because they were designed to be sold as toys. And
Right.
it's cheaper if everyone's got like the same mold.
You have one mold and you just change out the color
The
of
head.
the plastic on each print for the
Yeah.
head. G.I. Joe was the same way.
Yep.
God.
I mean, they could have had flying vehicles for Elisa, but I mean, the thing was like they would if they
Well, remember, no, gargoyles do not fly; they glide.
That's right.
Make a very important point of that many times throughout the show.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Mummy's alive.
There's always got to be a quick little scene of someone shoving their claws into the side of a building for about
That's right.
10 seconds so they can get high enough to then glide.
Yeah, they had to climb up to the top, and that's
If there were any gadgets they need, it was like Spider-Man's web swing.
I think they had grappling hooks on the show too a couple of times. Only like 2 or 3 times. But yeah, and I actually really liked it when they were climbing because they really did put a lot of good, really cool sound effects and graphical details on climbing up buildings. How they were rolling the building as
The
they were doing this.
thunk,
Yes.
thunk.
I actually really liked that back then. That was something.
And then bringing that up as a plot point is like the detective guy being like, there are all these like claw marks in the side of this stone structure.
right. But what could leave claw marks in solid stone?
Yeah.
And Elise is just sweating.
That was actually the very first scene she said in the first episode too. What could what? Strong enough with these powers sounds like. Then you're asking. Of course, a lot of people said it back then. I was like, anything could. I was like, what? Anything? Okay, name one. Name something besides a gargoyle that could put claw marks in solid stone.
The mantis shrimp.
Okay, mantis shrimp it is, guys.
She says that, and then just like periodically throughout the episode, you see him holding like books on mantis shrimp.
That would be funny. I'd buy that. That'd be hilarious. He's already in getting his head into the Illuminati, so why not? Let's figure out if mantis shreds can put claws in solid stone.
You know, if they did like, well, if they did like an MCU,
Toward the end of the episode, he's like, "Lisa, I've done some research, and I have some questions."
Yeah.
That would be true comedy on that show.
What do you
him-
know about grotesques?
Oh, those are like the little squatty, ugly.
That's what everyone thinks a gargoyle is. They're like, oh yeah, it's a gargoyle. It's like, no, it's a grotesque. It's only a gargoyle if it works as a water spout. Grotesque is just a statue.
Right. Yeah. No, I've.
Another thing I just remember, another thing that was hard about the Gargoyle shows back then was selling the point that one of the main things of the show was that Elisa and Goliath, were in a relationship right back.
Okay.
Wow, Greg Weisman wants to continue it, but not as a reboot, as like he wants to like
Continue where they left off.
yeah.
I mean, if they've got ideas.
Yeah. Huh. As soon as the stream's over, I'm gonna look at Bots Master because I'm really curious about what this is all about.
I glanced at it a little bit, and it reminded me of like Transformer cartoons from that era.
Yeah, I definitely never watched this. I never knew about it, but like it really looks visually like a lot of stuff I watched.
All right, I'm back. What did I miss?
Stuff.
Rick breaking everybody out of jail, I see. Okay.
Luga. Oh, it's him. Or it's not him, but it's a Yiga dude that looks very much like all the other Yiga dudes.
The one
It's
competent
that guy who looks like all those other guys.
Well, no, there was one that was like I remember there was one like a hideout that was like extra obnoxious.
Well, that was Master Koga. He was
Koga.
the
Okay.
portly one.
Yeah.
And then there's Suga, who's like super buff and actually knows what he's doing.
Right. So this is a different Suga.
No.
Oh, that's the same Suga?
Yeah, there's only one Suga.
Okay, so he's just really old.
Oh, geez, you know what?
No, he wasn't in Breath of the Wild.
He was the. Oh, okay.
He is a original character for Age Calamity.
Oh, Siege, not Steel.
Koga was in both games,
Yeah.
which kind of begs the question that Koga might be hundreds of years old.
Well, the Yiga clan are the same race as the
As a Sheikah.
as the Sheikah. Thank
So
you.
yeah, he might be that old, but
Yeah.
possibly not. I don't know.
Or it's a title or something.
Yeah.
There was always a Koga.
I got Disney Plus. I should have watched Gargoyles again. Find a Canadian episode. That was just to refresh my mind.
Is there a Canadian episode?
Well, like I said, there was one episode where they sent Goliath, Elisa, and Brox around the world, but for some reason they had to send them one episode during Canada, and that's where they met Raven.
Oh, okay. I believe it. Sure. God, they really just like grab bagged all the different mythologies.
Yeah.
Oh, and yeah, one time they went to Africa, I think.
They went to,
Yes, they went to
I remember
Africa.
that. And they met Anansi, who was like one of the like the fair folk. They went to Japan. I remember that. They went to like what?
You said wait. When you say fair folk, what do you mean fair folk?
Like okay, Anansi, the spider dude, the spider guy
I
was
heard
one of the fair.
Nazi, like German National Socialist Party.
Oh,
Nah.
no,
What?
Anansi.
Hold on. What is?
No, the Nazis were in the World War II episode where they
Right,
met
yeah.
Griff.
Oh boy.
Snip snip.
I don't think that was much a big focus of it. I don't think. I think it was more just that they're in that time and stuff's happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stuff is happening off screen that we don't need to talk about any further.
Yeah. I was slightly annoyed in Breath of the Wild that like you couldn't just throw a banana to like lure the to lure the Yiga underlings away. Like you still have to fight them. You know what I mean?
But
Like
you
just bait 'em.
can, but they can't have seen you.
Oh, okay.
Jonas wants to just straight up bribe them with bananas.
Exactly.
Walk out, banana in hand, be like,
Hey,
can you just go ahead, go away?
I see no problem with this.
Do you really want to fight me, or do you want half a banana? Banana. It's high in
Banana.
potassium. You guys need potassium. You're active. You know.
Potassium.
Get the banana.
Lick, get the banana. Get the banana, lick.
Oh boy, I forgot. I also forgot that Kate Mulgrew, Captain Janeway, voiced Queen Titania on Gargoyles. The wife of Oberon.
Goliath, there's coffee in that nebula.
Yeah, that's right. There's coffee in those gargoyles.
Yeah, I've not seen Voyager, so it's like the 2 times I've ever seen Janeway do anything, or no, 3 times, is she says, there's coffee in that nebula. She gives the death sentence to Tuvix, and then tiny hologram doctor puts the moves on her.
he puts the moves on her. Wow.
Yeah,
You
there was
don't-
some kind of innuendo. I don't know if it was an outtake or any episode, but there's some kind of innuendo of him like getting up in there.
Pretty sure that's an outtake.
Okay.
That episode where he's the medical hologram is progressively getting smaller. He is very much upset about it the entire time. So that was before they're like treating him like a person, and so everyone's just like, "Oh, we'll deal with that later. We'll deal with that later."
It's a mechanical it's a non-critical mechanical problem.
I used to have Neelix's cookbook. My aunt got it for me for one of my birthdays when I was like a teenager. Have any of you watched Lower Decks? Is it any good?
I didn't watch the full thing. I just saw previews. It looks good.
Seems fine.
I have not, but I've heard that like the second season is where it turned like okay compared to the first season, where it's getting its feet wet.
The animation style vaguely annoys me because it looks sort of lazy, but I don't know. Also, is it canon? Do I have to care about it?
Probably not.
Okay,
Well, I mean,
It's as canon as you want it.
that's
I mean,
fair.
they have a kitty doctor.
Which
I mean,
is
you
my
can't argue
advice
with
for
that.
just about every sort of fictional thing.
They have a cat. They have a cat doctor. That's all I care about.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I've seen a couple of clips that don't really make me want to watch it.
Personally, I think I've been flushed out of Star Trek ever since Deep Space Nine. Honestly, I think they hit their peak right there.
I kind of checked out when Enterprise came on. Like, I tried, and I watched a few episodes, and then I thought, no, you know what? I'm done.
Doctor,
But-
Soul Scripture says is gorgeously self-aware. Yeah.
Nice.
I could not find the original series. I couldn't find it interesting enough until
I'm gonna do one more.
Voyager, which captivated me entirely with its trumpet-based intro sequence.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah, that's right.
The
yeah.
Voyager intro is what got me hooked on the show, because I really liked it, so I would wait and watch that, and then the show would be on it. I'd be like, I guess I can watch since I'm already here.
Nice. Oh, it's midnight.
Just gonna blast through one more.
Okay.
One more, he says.
Just one more game. Just one more game.
I can quit anytime I want.
Anyone want to go for one more? One more?
Well, am I?
this isn't Civilization, guys.
Oh god, you can't
Isn't
say one
Civilization
more
more about finishing the one you start?
I was gonna say, you can't say one more with Civilization. That's like, you play 2 games in a row. That's literally your entire day.
You know,
The
I
moment you
had
get
that.
up to the moment you go to bed.
Yeah,
I had that problem.
Yeah, the problem with Civilization is you have to tell yourself you're not allowed to say one more. Because one more will become one more, and one more, and one more.
One more turn. One more turn.
You know,
That's what happens to me in Apex Legends. I said, "Stop it! Stop it!"
I can think of 2 games, one from back in the day and one relatively recently, where I had that problem. I had that problem when I was playing the Wakfu MMO in 2013, and I had that problem when I was playing Satisfactory solo. Like after we finished the group project sessions, I would just go back in there.
Jonas!
I know.
I can't
I'm
believe
horrible.
you were mood lighting on us.
I mean, sometimes I had a couple of solo games where I tried to like really desperately tried to build stuff in the northern desert because there was a fuck ton of oil resources up there, which I think they changed, and sometimes I just take the group map and build on it because like you guys already put all that, like, you know, Millard made that grid that was what like 8 gigawatts or some shit. So I was building like absurd, you know, like launchers and stuff like.
Oh yeah, I built that giant oil power plant.
Did you ever do a nuclear grid?
Yes, right at the end we did.
Okay, I don't think I ever saw it.
I think I made one reactor just because we wanted the plutonium. Or we needed the plutonium for something.
Yeah, which apparently you cannot dispose of unless you get around it by like feeding it to the lizard dog and then like yeeting him out of existence.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, yeah, so basically the one nuclear reactor we had was basically just a breeder. It wasn't
What do you mean?
really... a breeder is a nuclear thing where instead of having a nuclear reactor whose whose job is to create power or heat, you have a nuclear reactor that actually you want the byproducts of the nuclear reactions, and so you have it particularly set up to be more efficient with that.
You using the waste?
Yeah, well, because that's how you get plutonium. Is you take uranium and then you react it in a reactor, or at least that's a way.
Whee!
Man, we kept this chat going by midnight non-stop. Wow.
Uh-huh. Well, nostalgia's a powerful drug. I know a lot about this.
It's usually those are the kind of reactors that are run by like universities and stuff because they're chemically a lot more complex. But they're also not as dangerous because they don't usually run as hot, or they're not as large.
Were you getting like a net gain in power from it, or was it just?
I think it was still making some power, but it was definitely a lot less than.
As well.
But I'm also talking about the actual like what an actual breeder reactor does. I think in Satisfactory it makes the same amount of power either way.
I'm definitely going back whenever 1.0 happens. I don't care if it's like 10 years from now. I'm still going back.
Do you see the video they put out the other day where they're just like 10 things we're not putting in Satisfactory?
No, I don't think I did. Hold on, let me.
Yeah, they had a community video where it's literally just like, here are some things that people keep requesting from us. No. One of them was like tower defense combat, and they're just like, no, we're not doing combat. The game is supposed to be chill.
If you find that, can you link it to me? Because I don't think
It's on the Coffee Stain Studios YouTube.
Oh, okay, hang on.
I think it could stand to have like a more challenging combat version.
Well, the trailer they showed long ago had a boss fight in it.
Yeah, the big crab.
Yeah, there's a big crab that released huge swarms of the little exploding flies. So they have something coming. But it's
Yeah, but it's. I think with the no tower defense thing, it's more like in Valheim or whatever, where your home base will be attacked, kind of thing, versus going out and fighting a thing.
Yeah, the enemies are not going to engage you. It's your job to go engage the enemies.
You attack in order to clear out land and areas.
They also said like buildings degrading or like just random faults happening. They're just like, nope, we're not doing that. Once you set something up, it should stay set up. You should only need to worry about touching it again if you want to reorganize or re-optimize it.
Yeah. Well, you guys can go fight. I'll be in the back crafting ammo.
But Jonas, if you set it up correctly, you don't need to craft ammo. You have machines for that.
Well, eventually, yes. I mean, if we're still in the settler phase, it's going to be a while before, I'm assuming at this point we won't be able to continue our previous save. Like, it's probably going to be so different that, like, we'll have to start over.
Maybe, especially since this most recent update, did a bunch of map changes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was going to ask if the development work they've been doing has been more toward like just adding more phases toward the end of your progression, or if they've been tweaking things along the way.
Good question.
Like I don't know what phase we ended on, like 6, 7?
8. Tier 8 was what we had.
Tier, that's right. I don't know if they've been like tweaking the lower tiers or if they've just been adding like tier 9.
I know that tier 9 is supposed to be like the last tier. Like there's not going to be a tier 10 ever.
Yeah.
They hard-coded it for 1 digit. There can never be a 10th tier.
I wonder, how sci-fi they're gonna do this, because a lot of the technology we've seen so far, like, yes, there's sci-fi things to it, but it's like we've seen assemblers and machines putting together electric engines and stuff. It's like the furthest we've gotten along is a particle accelerator, and like that's not exactly sci-fi. So,
We've created jelly landing pads, which is about as sci-fi as you can get.
yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, what's the next step? Like, and I mean, of course, what is the thing we're building in the sky?
I mean, the space needle is. I keep calling it that. The space elevator is sci-fi.
Well, it's an elevator, so
Yeah.
I mean, you finish it and then you go up and you go from there.
Yeah, I mean,
You start doing stuff in space.
well, I'm assuming that like the crap at the top is supposed to be functional. They just didn't give it any collision-y, surfacey, anything. Like, but I mean, there's stuff up there. You know,
Yeah.
that's probably going to be
What's your
something.
guess of what's being built up there?
Probably something menacing and corporate.
My guess is a Matryoshka brain.
Yeah, maybe. An overmind controlling the planet certainly would be appropriate. It's probably going to come down to like, you know, do you side with space industry or do you side with, you know, nature or something like that?
You get to pick a side.
Yeah,
There
probably
hasn't
not.
really been the ability to choose.
Well, I mean, like I'm speculating as if, you know, if there was like a story
Right.
mode.
They
We'll
go
see.
with the Mass Effect route, and just at the very end of the game, you choose: do you finish the thing or do you destroy it? And
Yeah.
you have 2 buttons to press.
You build like an ultra bomb or something, and like, you know, you can. Yeah.
Do you use it on the planet, or do you use it on the corporate print?
Yeah, there's like a big brain somewhere, you know, big like telepathic brain bug kind of thing. Place.
Yeah, you have a
mother brain.
Yeah, basically.
you have a button to like shoot the thing you've built off into space, but there's just like a switch, and you can reverse the thrust and have it shoot into the planet and destroy
Yeah.
itself.
Good times.
This is the goal of the Space Needle is to send it into the sun, equipped with ice rays to freeze it.
Cool.
Does anyone get that reference?
Is that like Invader Zim or something?
Okay, I'm gonna link it in chat.
Nice. Let's see.
Video, and it's a little long, like 5 minutes, so maybe after the stream or something.
Yeah,
but-
I'll check it out afterwards.
Oh man.
One thing I'm desperately going to need before I go back to Satisfactory is like an RTX card, because like it ran like ass on my machine.
Yeah, I had to tune it down a little bit. My machine was still a little loud with the fan.
I had to have like everything on the lowest hardware setting to keep up.
Yeah. I mean, it's still an early access game. There'll be
Yeah.
optimizations as they get closer to the end.
Yar.
As long as it doesn't get to Vermintide 2 levels, we'll be fine.
Mhm.
That game is so bad that it literally killed my previous computer.
Oh no.
It actually killed my graphics card. Even on the lowest of low settings, like beyond the low that they allow you to have,
Yeah.
like tweaking it even lower, like it ran my machine so hot that it actually killed my graphics card.
You know, I was watching one of my friends play. I don't remember what game it was, but he was running it at 120 FPS, and his computer was handling it just fine because he has this like super boss machine. But OBS was freaking out. He had to drop it to 60 FPS for OBS to be able to handle it. Apparently, streaming at like super high frame rate in OBS is possible, but it really doesn't like it. Vermintide. Never heard of that one.
Really?
You gotta remember, man. I'm not cool like you guys.
It's part of Warhammer.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
There's like 10 zillion Warhammer games I've never heard of, so...
It's the one with the rat people. So of all games to know of,
I'm old enough to remember like when Warhammer was like painted little figures.
it still is.
Well,
People
sure
still
it is.
do that.
But I remember that was like the big thing, you know. Like I remember in San Francisco there was a mall called the Metreon, which I think still exists, and they had a games shop that was like they sold mostly like box RPGs and painted figures. Like there was like it was yeah, and they had like tables where kids would play the you know the Warhammer with the little painted yeah, it was a trip.
Yeah, I've got a few game stores around here like that. The tabletop game, the trading card game, then like D&D and stuff. Got the tables set up, some for D&D and whatnot, cards, and the big ones for the Warhammer or what have you.
Nice.
I'm just like, this is the point where I would rather just play it as a video game. There's a
Yeah.
little too many things going on now.
It's the kind of thing where I absolutely could have gotten into it, like in my 20s if I'd had friends that were doing it. Probably some of my friends were doing it. I just didn't know anyone who was doing stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, Kismet, like, that type of thing is basically trying to simulate an RTS, kind of, in tabletop form. That's just a lot of work.
Oh, real-time strategy. Okay, nice.
Did you have to recall what RTS meant?
Miller, remember what I said? I'm not cool like you guys.
Sorry. you're
Quit
right.
bullying Jonas.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Old.
I'm sorry. I'm being mean.
have pity on me. I'm an old Gen Xer. Also, I generally prefer turn-based to real-time. But that's just me. Oh, another blood moon. Nice.
Hey, mission complete.
All right.
Red moon, red moon. Okay.
So we're gonna
Thing
rebuild
acquired.
Terrico. God, what if Terrico was the final boss? That would be
You get
already
too
faced
many
our
pieces and
Jericho.
he's too big.
Good going.
They're like, why did you get 40 pieces? He only shattered into 5.
he's
Where
all
did these even come from?
he's like gigantic and just roided up.
Improved heart recovery.
Beautiful work.
Have I played EU4? I don't know what that is.
It is. Class.
Europa Universalis 4.
Oh, I've never heard of that series.
If you thought Civilization games were complicated and took forever,
Yeah.
Europa Universalis games go on for hundreds of hours.
I have 19 Terraco components. How did I need? Need 50.
Nice.
Might take a while.
Hmm.
Well, he got smushed in little bits, didn't he? All right.
Yes, he did.
Well,
All your fault. You're the one who did that to him.
me. It
Yeah, I
wasn't
did.
me. Oh, you mean Rick?
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
didn't he kind
Yeah,
of
didn't he like lunge into Ganon to explode?
he kind of did himself in.
He,
Oh wow.
I believe it.
All right. And that's another night. We hope you
Alrighty.
enjoyed the show.
Well,
Indeed.
All right.
We need to fix Terrico, so we'll be back.
Okay. Catch us next time. All right. Okay.
Catch you next time.
Good
Good night,
night,
everybody.
everybody.
Have a
have
good
a
night.
good night, all.